feel we've been blessed more than other families with her. Her journey hasn't been as tough. Obviously, she's still with us, which is the biggest thing.
Immediately, I went into prayer and just started praying with God. And I realized that, I was still trying to fix my life.
Burns brighter than the sun, he steals the night and casts no shadow. It is hope. Should oceans rise and mountains fall, he never.
I had heard Lifeline fly over, and there was an overwhelming sense of peace that had come over my life.
So take heart. His love lead us through the night.
Pretty much coherent the whole way up through to the hospital.
Hold on to hope and take courage again.
It's very difficult when you have to leave. My son's here, and they don't understand.
Death by love, the fallen world was overcome. He wears the scars of our freedom.
It's changed everything for me. My little 12-year-old girl, she got on the bed and she wrapped her arms around me and she held me. And she said, "Daddy, everything's gonna be all right."
His love lead us through the night.
I made a decision that night, and the decision was, that's what I should be doing.
And take courage again.
They actually didn't expect me to live, so it was an accident that I should not have survived, but obviously God had other plans.
Her complications from surgery have been minor compared to others.
I didn't have the words, but I knew that the Spirit of God in me, I knew that if there's anything that God could do, that through the Holy Spirit and the power of God could be there and things could change.
She's had 2 open heart surgeries. She's had a couple heart caths. She's had a feeding tube placed permanently.
They told me it was more likely I would never walk again.
We end up in a weird situation where we can go every day thinking this is kind of normal, and then it hits you again when we have to go back in April for surgery, and you realize just how sick she really is.
And he took me to Ephesians 5, where it says that we must love our wives as Christ loved the church. And I asked God, how can I do that? How can I love Katrina the way you love her? And he showed me his heart for Katrina.
After many months went by, I realized that this was becoming my life, and the reality of it was a real struggle for me. I went from believing he was my healer to questioning, why would you let this happen to me?
It was trying at first. I mean, you definitely get the why me, why us,
Why her?
Why her?
Why did she have to suffer?
Why did she have to suffer?
I didn't know whether or not our marriage, whether it was going to be restored or healed, but I knew that God was in our home and that I could rely on Him, and I found a relationship with God. I found a relationship with the Holy Spirit. I found the peace of God in me that I needed at that time.
And I truly believe, even to this day, the reason I didn't leave the home during that time was because of your prayers and because you held on for both of us.
The night that God spoke to me, that night was very instrumental. God speaking to me saying to get my eyes off of this, that I would walk again and to do what I was called to do. Not that it made life any easier. The challenges weren't any less. They were still just as difficult, but I had a newfound hope in what God was doing with my life.
And so everything in my life began to crumble at my feet. But it was at those moments that I began to find something deep within me.
You have to just start believing and realizing that there's reason.
During this time, I also had met my wife through this whole experience, and God really showed His love to me through Ange.
I know the one thing that kind of gets me through is hope.
Fog lifted, the glaze was gone, and I could see you again, and I could feel your love again.
It doesn't stop me. I don't allow this to keep me from living life and doing still what God has called me to do.
Knowing that even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it, that you're still strong and you're still able to move forward.
The only way that it's going to survive is God at the center of it.
I believe and I know that God will heal me one day.
For us, there really is no definite light at the end for her in this life here.
As long as He gets the glory out of this whole journey, this whole situation, it's all fine, because this is not the life I'm living for. This is the life I live to serve.
So we take each day and try to make that particular day as good as possible.
We reconciled, and the restoration is still in process. It's been such an amazing, amazing journey together through this, of what we thought we lost, that God has put together.
Because it's worth it.
God is my healer.